The images you're about to see may offend sensitive viewers.
Well, firstly, what government calls a sex worker, we call prostitution. I think government is trying to glamorize something that is not right, something that is not a profession, something that many of those who are involved with are not proud about. Because if you are a professional, you can tell your children, this is my profession, stand on television, this is my profession. But how many people in South Africa would do something like that? Prostitution, I believe, is wrong. Prostitution devalues women. Women have dignity, and their dignity has to be acknowledged and respected. But when you make a person a commodity, you are reducing their status to a level of any commodity you can buy in a shop. So I think that prostitution undermines the dignity of women. And as we are now in a month where we talk about the rights of women, one of the important things is to talk about the right of women's right to dignity. And prostitution undermines that.
Well, you know, seriously, prostitution, trafficking, sex tourism, even pornography are really dehumanizing, and they have a devastating impact on women, particularly in developing countries, and also on marginalized groupings within developed countries. So it's really very sad that our country would want to consider going in this direction, but I know there's huge pressure, obviously, from lobby groups, and we don't want to see women put in the situation where they feel they have no other route to get out of their circumstances than to actually have to take that kind of abuse. Well, we believe that there actually is no such thing as sex work. There's such a thing as sex, and there's such a thing as work, and there's such a terrible thing as some people having to be put to work and have that whole their sexuality abused. So that is problematic. And there are some people who will say, particularly when they're young and they haven't experienced all of the hardships, that that's their choice. And people do make those kind of choices, but they end up paying very dearly for it, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in every way, in their communities, in their families. And so the cost of going that route takes such a huge toll on people that it really is, we really do have to be there for people who want to change their ways. So when you say that it has, there's a stigma attached, the stigma attached is the fact that it is harmful to women. So it's not so much the stigma as that people are heartbroken at the thought that somebody makes that choice for themselves, and very often more heartbroken because it's not that someone who's making that choice. It's the circumstances that are making the choice for them, or it's the people in their lives. It can be the pimps, the husbands, the boyfriends, the fathers, the mothers even. And that is tragic. And you legalize this, you decriminalize it, you leave those people far more vulnerable to those kind of pressures than they even are now.
I'm coming from Eastern Cape. I'm Tata. I started this thing on 2011 when I finished, when I dropped out of school, which I was doing human resource in Maritzburg, and then I just came to Joburg because I was struggling to pay rent there and my parents couldn't pay my school fees anymore. So I just decided to come to Joburg to join my friends because one of my cousins was doing this kind of business here in Joburg, selling body, whatever. So I thought that for now, since I drop out from school, it's gonna be good for me to be getting something, even though it's very hard for me to get a job. Hey, life is so difficult, my brother, né? Because since I'm telling you that it's very difficult to find a job, so it was the easy option for me. It was easy money, Anytime I need it, I can just make calls or I just walk in the street, I get something, you understand? And I've got 2 kids. I have to support those kids. The fathers are not there, so, it's just a difficult life. So I saw an opportunity for myself,
How is this job like? Is it hard? Is it tiring? How is it like?
Very hard. It's very hard. That's why I'm thinking that government for South Africa must make it legal, because the way we are working to get this money is very hard and it's dangerous. And we are doing things that we never did before, which we are experiencing a new life in this Joburg. And it's not easy because sometimes we go out, you don't find any money, When I come back here, no cent, nothing. By that time, I've got 2 children that I have to support to buy them food. You see, now I'm staying in a place that there's no electricity, you understand? So that's how life it is here in Joburg. If things are like this, you end up going to wrong things, in this Mahosha thing.
Does your family know that you are doing this?
No, they don't know, and they must never find out, because I was supposed to be at school, I was supposed to be educated. I've got my matric, I've got a certificate that I did for a computer, but I don't find a job, you understand? So for me to survive, I have to do something, especially for my kids.
Well, what pushed me is that I don't like working for someone, and I like fast money, fast cash. Yeah, that's why I'm here on the street. Because if I'm here on the street, I get money there and there. If I sleep with a man, he gives me money, 100 rand or 150. So, see, at the end of the day, maybe I'll be having more than maybe 1,000 rand. But when I'm working, I'm waiting for maybe 1.5 a month. But that 1.5 I can make it maybe in 2 days or 1 day. You know what made me to come to South Africa? The main point was that I wanted to go back to school. You see, I came looking for my father so that he would take me back to school. So, and my father told me he has to get an ID for me. You understand? But since then, he couldn't have the ID for me. So I just say, maybe they don't love me. You understand? That's why I just gave up.
What do you use your money for? When you get that 1.5 a month, a day, what do you use your money for?
Sometimes I buy clothes. I send my daughter home. I send some of money to my daughter at home. Yeah. And some of it I pay rent. buy food.
I think, firstly, it is important that to highlight that as Usisonke, we are part of the organization that is advocating and calling for laws to change, which is the call for decriminalization. Reason being is we're calling for the decriminalization of sex workers so that sex work should be decriminalized in this country due to reasons that I would list. Sex workers are facing a lot of police harassment by community, client themselves, any person that actually feel like taking an advantage of sex workers, they're just taking advantage of sex workers. But in most of the research that has been done, it has shown that majority of police harassment and human rights violations are coming from the police officers. Not all the police officers that are bad or are doing such things, but those are the challenges and reasons that we want sex work to be decriminalized in this country. And the actual sex workers themselves, that we're reaching out to them as a movement, they're also calling for the decriminalization of sex work because they believe that the work that they do is work. So therefore it should be decriminalized and recognized as work.
Bengifisa ukuthi mangabe kuyakhona ugovernment abaqoqe labantwana abayise kwenye indawo so bakwazi ukuthi babe busy kube nento abazenzayo bayekela ukuthengisa imizimba. Inkinga idakamizwa kakhulu nabo labo mahosha labo ngoba ingane zethu lezi abazihoshisayo azinakusasa. Ikusasa lazo alikho ngempela.
I feel bad. I feel bad. It's not a nice thing. I feel so bad. I want to quit, but I can't. I don't know. I'm used to it. I can't quit. Well, I'm trying to quit, but I can't because I'm used to it. Someone getting already. Some like clients. Yeah, some they treat me nicely, but some they're rough. Some are abusive.
I do want to government as senze yonke into esifunayo because needing eziningi yo mina ngisaphola family yami umntana wami ngapha babe ngane naye ungibalekele izinto esifana nalezo so yimi kumele ngenze yonke into vele.
What I think that needs to be done is for our government, because organizations are there, but they might not have full services of all the needs that are needed. At a country level, not because of the sex workers need those kind of services, but I think as a country, we kind of like lacking those kind of services. So government needs to kind of like expand and fund some of the organizations in order to have, if people maybe are experiencing some trauma, they know where to go without being judged. They can speak openly. So as an organization, we've got the helpline. It's a toll-free and free advice counseling information whereby sex workers, when they're having challenges, they will call that number and then they will send a police call also. Then we do referral to relevant organizations that we work with. But government also should be playing a part because sex workers are part of the community, sex workers are part of the society. So they shouldn't be subjected to those services.
Well, we do not want to justify and endorse abuse. Prostitutes are abused in most cases. We hear stories of prostitutes who are raped, who are trafficked, who are drugged, because many of them don't enjoy what they're doing. And it is not normal for a woman to sleep with and have sex with 10 men, for example, in one night. It's not humanly possible. The body cannot handle that. And for them to be able to do this, they have to be given drugs. That's why most of them, you cannot separate them from drugs. Because for them to numb their consciences and give them this energy, unnatural energy, they are subjected to drugs use, which we find deplorable.
I came here from 2005, so I met my other friend. Indlela bekayenza ngayo lento lena angithatha angenzisa ke nami ngenza ke kanjalo.
How old were you by that time?
I was 18 years old.
And how old are you now?
I'm 25.
So all along, is it because friend influence, or you just wanted yourself? What got you into this?
Ngidingo ngibese ngaba nomntwana, so ngithola umntwana bami ngana mangibalekela ngabe sengadecide ukuthi ngcono ngenze kanje nasekhaya isimo sikho right, mama makasebenzi, so izinto esifana lezo ke.
Do you sometimes feel guilty that you are doing this?
Yes, sometimes, not always, because imali ngiyayithola.
Do you want to stop this? Do you will stop this?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do want to stop, but umsebenzi ijobek uyazi jobek kwenzakalani now. So imali yafast ngiyithola imali fana ngiphuma nje ngiyakhona ukuthola 800 rand khona ukuthenga umntana wami something 1000 ngiyithola a night ngithola 2000. So yes.
Do you ever regret doing this? You are solo.
Yeah, nah. Ngiyasola. Ayikho mnandi phela. Sometimes nokucabanga phela. That's why sometimes kumele sisiyabhema lezinto lezi ezi wrong ezingazazi, because ufuna ukuba hype ungakhona ukulala, kumele ufuna imali the whole day and night, like yabo izinto esifana lezi. That's why bese sesiyabhema lezi zinto lezi sibhemayo.
It depends on how you do it. In the street, it's not easy. It's very hard because you get some people that might abuse you, like not pay you and all of that. So you've got to be very careful. I haven't been unfortunate to go through that. I've been fortunate that I haven't had any such experience, but there's very horrible stories out there. And ladies, only if you really, really have to, but try not to be in the street. It ain't good. It's dangerous. I know it's a life, you know, and we try to do our best. This is our ATM, so just be careful when you use this ATM.
This legalizing and decriminalizing prostitution is actually what people think is an easy way out. That those of us who should be responsible for actually making sure that people have other opportunities are actually copping out. So this should not be able to take the place of us continuing to put all the effort and energy we have into seeing that there's skills development, that people have the opportunities that they need, and that they have the kind of support systems in place where women can actually make something of themselves that doesn't entail dehumanizing themselves or being open to abuse. Yeah, obviously sex workers will go to certain public places in terms of health issues, etc., and it would be at those places that I think that the help should be mostly available. And so we do need to have, as I say, not just the physical help, but the emotional health and other things as well. And then sometimes it's just something they should be able to open their doors to, those centres should open their doors to other NGOs who can come in and actually just be there for moral support, or to be able to advise people in terms of which organizations are offering what skills, these practical things, what there's available in terms of grants, how people can actually, because these are very real things. you've probably got a child at home and they need to eat. But of course, staying in prostitution doesn't make life any easier for that child. It makes it harder. So at some point, just having people to help you get the courage to be able to step away from this thing that is going to be so devastating, not only to yourself, but to your children and their children.
I feel like prostitutes, they actually disturb our children's minds, and they actually disturb our husbands' and boyfriends' minds, because they work half naked, and sometimes they sleep with younger children just because for money and other things. You find that our husbands, they can actually cheat on us because they actually pay 20 rand to go and sleep with Umahocha, but it's not a good thing in society. But we actually have to see why they are doing that, because other people, they are chased from their houses, and other people, they run on their own because they want drugs. And if there is a solution for us to help those people be normal people again, I'll actually love to be part of that group to help those people. And I actually say down with the Womakhosha, because it's not a good thing in our society, and children, they become socialized in a very bad way. They learn no standards. It's actually less standards, standardless, because we need actually, as us old people, we need to teach our youngsters how to grow up in a norm and value society. Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they bewitch me. I think they bewitch me because I don't find a job. That's why I'm always saying viva for Makhosha's viva, you know. I'm taking up the hand like this, you know. I'm very proud of them because they are doing something anyway. Even though it's very hard, even though it's dangerous, but then it's something on the table, you know. We are not proud of ourselves, but I'm proud that they are doing something that they can support their families, they can support their children.
Are you proud? Do you regret?
I can't say I regret it because I'm coming from a good family which they got money, but sometimes family is a family, they don't support you and there's nothing that you can do. You can't force them. You understand? Anything that you are asking is like you are bothering them. So I thought that this is a better life for me. And I'm very proud of myself because I'm feeding my children with this money. You understand? And there's no one that is helping me. I'm the only one that must do that kind of thing.
How much do you make on a good day?
In a good day, maybe 600 if I find a good guy, you know. But it's very difficult to find big money, né? Because now there's too much ritual now in this Joburg. So it's very difficult to trust people that are coming with big money because you don't know if this person want to put some evil on you or, you know. So even if it's a small money, I appreciate it. Even if it's from 300 up to maybe 700, for me it's fine. I don't like too much money because there's something going on behind that man, you understand? I've got a good family, as I said to you. But I decided to do this thing not just for fun and not just like... It's very bad, my brother. That's all I can say. It's very bad and it's hurting. No feelings anymore, even for your boyfriend. No feelings, because they are finishing them.
And I see government trying to popularize something that I don't think will ever become popular. When you talk of work, people are positive towards work. But now you put sex in front of work, as if that is a work that people can be proud of. You know, many times children, particularly matriculants, are given advice on career changes, career paths to follow. You will never find anybody talking about prostitution as a career that they should follow. Why? Because they know it is not a normal thing, it's not a normal work. It is a process that satisfies the lusts of men and in the process undermines the dignity of women whose bodies are being abused. So in this month, where we talk about women abuse, we should be saying to government, stop allowing the abuse of South African women. Stop allowing women's dignity to be undermined in the name of it is their work. Offer better work and job opportunities so that our women can go to their jobs, workplaces with dignity. And not when people are sleeping, they start walking the streets around, because during the day they don't, because they don't want people to be seen. The one of the reason why they do all this during the night is so that many people don't see them, because it is a shameful way of trying to make money. Let's help them. We understand some of them are poor, they need help. Let government do everything possible to help these women to come out of prostitution.
I want to quit, but I can't. I don't know. I'm used to it. I can't quit. Well, I'm trying to quit, but I can't.
Yes, I do. I do want to stop, but umsebenzi ijobek uyazi ijobek ukuthi kwenzakalani now. So imali yafast ngiyithola imali fana ngiphuma nje ngekhona ukuthola 800 rand khona ukuthenga umntana wami something 1000 ngiyithola a night ngithola 2000. So yes.
And then I met some good people, like, don't do this, we'll help you, because you do get help sometimes. You must be willing to take the help.